Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it is Thursday, and boy, what a market sell-off that we had today. I was stopped out of a lot of positions, and the inflation just keeps raging, and so we got to do things to kind of protect ourselves here with everything going on in the news. Basically, it fell pretty hard today, and this kind of kind of shows you where we're headed. Unfortunately, I think we're probably going to get some more inflation, a lot more inflation, and it's just going to be one of those things. It's going to be a tough market, I think, to trade. And we're down a number of just a number of things. So not an easy market to trade at all. And but here's what I've got, and hopefully maybe we can put our heads together and come out with something that is positive here. Basically, this is the changes that you can do now to protect your portfolio against inflation. One of the things is, that I've been doing. I've been trying to, put my toe back in to some of these growth stocks in technology, but I'm just getting pushed back. So basically, I'm trying to move out again out of technology stocks into oil stocks because that seems to be working, at least for right now. Also, I have a great ETF strategy that seems to work quite well, and I'm employing that as well as pushing up my stop loss. So those are some things that you can do right now to kind of help in kind of easing the problem. Just want to look at all the major indexes here, and they're basically all off. The Dow was down about 1.56%, S&P down similar amount, NASDAQ down, the Russell 2000 and the IBD 50. So they're all basically all down right now, and it's just again, it's a tough market to trade, and it's just been a market that has been basically selling off. So it's you just gotta kind of roll with the punches here. Just want to show you the ETF strategy. This has done extremely well, and I just want to kind of update you on the progress as of today. This is what has happened since we implemented the strategy basically on the 16th. And we've gone really from about a 0% return to almost a 7.29% return. Yesterday we had an 8% return. Kind of show you how that has played out. The way this strategy works is when the market changes to a confirmed uptrend, which it did on the 16th, we go all in on a index fund. In this case, I went all in on the QQQ, and then as you can see, it moves up. We continue to be all in on this until we get to. Oops, let's go back to the slide here. We continue to go all in on that strategy until the market starts to pull back a little bit and goes into a uptrend under pressure. When the market goes into an uptrend under pressure, we sell half of it, keep half of it in that index fund. Then if the market moves to a market in correction, we sell everything, we stay in cash until the cycle repeats again. So very interesting. This strategy has been working. This strategy has been working. So, this is definitely something that we can look at in terms of, possibly to mitigate some of the risks that we're getting in this market. Here is the performance, basically in the last. It's really only 2 weeks that we've been in this. As you can see, we closed on the 16th. The QQQ closed at $340. And today it closed at $387. So you can see it's kind of moved up and then backed off a little bit, but still quite a good strategy. If the market were to move to a uptrend under pressure, then we would take half. We would take half of the position off, and then half in cash. So interesting strategy, and I think that definitely well worth your time, possibly, and considering doing this. Just want to show you what I have in the small portfolio. I got knocked out of a bunch of things today. Basically, the semiconductors. I'm out of AMD. I'm out of Alpha Omega Semi, and I'm still in Rambus, I believe, but everything else is off. There is one chip stock there's one chip that seems to be doing well, and that's Arista Networks. I'm still in that. I'm up about 7.6% since we went into that one about 14 days ago. Berkshire Hathaway also doing well. That's very much of a safety play. Been in that 28 days, and we're up basically 7.39%. Hess, and this is the oil companies. I up about 4.5%, but I've added to this position as well in about 14 days. This is probably still where we should be looking for potential places to put capital right now, is in the oils, because they seem to be producing the best results. Quanta Services, this is an oil drilling company, up about 2.17% even after the pullback today. St. Joe Company barely up about 1% in 9 days, not too bad. Tesla, right at the close, we did we did eke it out, basically even. I think it went down a little bit after hours. Let me check that just to make sure, but I think it did move down a little bit after hours. But Tesla seems to be holding up, which is interesting. It's really my only solid growth play right now, and it definitely is holding up. So, here's the look at Tesla in terms of where it's at. And it does seem to be holding there right at about that 1080 level. We're off a little bit after ours, 1079.54. We're off just a tad. Well, we were down, and then we came back a little bit. So seems to be holding this. Seems to be some resistance right at 1100 for Tesla. So I'm going to probably be pushing my stop loss up tonight, probably probably to about the 1060 level. I just want to kind of guard my capital. 1055. That's probably where I'm going to put it. About 1055. I'm going to move it up to about 1055 just to protect my capital here. But I do think that Tesla is likely to move higher. So that indeed is a good thing. Let's see what else. Just show you what I've got basically left. Pretty much everything that I'm in was down today. A few exceptions. ANET, Arista Networks, was an exception. We'll take a look at that chart in just a second. Berkshire was down about 4.7%, about 1.3% on it. PWR, that's the Quanta Services, down a little bit. Down on Hess, I was up on ANET. Down on the Qs a little bit. We were a little bit higher yesterday. I do think we'll see some hopefully firming in the Qs tomorrow. I'm hoping that. Juniper Networks, I was selling into strength today. A little bit worried about this. I sold 2/3 of my position, took profits there. It was down. Alpha Omega Semi, I'm out of that one. I was actually stopped out of that sort of at the last moment, so it does appear on the list, but I'm out of that one. Joe, of course, I'm down on that. OVV, this is an oil company, down just slightly. I am pretty confident in those. I'm still in Rambus, just barely. MPC, now I did increase my position in Marathon Petroleum. That one's up, and I do think that that's worth your consideration, as it seems to be, it seems to be doing fairly well. Tesla, it's down in this here, but it has been recovering in the after hours. Golden Ocean, we're still in that one, pretty much even on that one. Dutch Brothers just took an absolute dive down to 55.27. I was not stopped out, but I was almost stopped out. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to stay in it and see if I can make any headway. Valco Energy, this is also another oil play, very, very inexpensive stock, off about 6 cents, not a whole lot on that one, EGY. So that's sort of where I'm at in terms of the stocks. If you want to get the ready list, super easy to do. Just go to https://bit.ly/DTF0101. And if you're watching on TikTok, easily get on that. Just go to the just go to the my profile, click on the link, and you'll be able to get right away to that. So without further ado, let's take some questions from TikTok. Thank you very, very much. SPY puts printed today. I'll bet they did. I'll bet they did. I bet you they did pretty darn well. The White House said that Biden has nothing to do with the oil market. God, he doesn't have anything to do with a lot of things. But the oil market is still, even though it was down today, that's where the strength in the market is. Let's take a look at kind of the oil sector, and see. This is part of the reason why, I have been moving in, even more so into the oils, just because that seems to be where it's working the best. So, just an interesting thing going on here. Let's see if I can get that up. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, and let's look at the ranks. There we go. Okay, so basically, here are the ranks with regards. That's pretty certain. It's not hard to see this, but the top number one is international oil and gas. That's where Hess is. That's where a lot of the other ones are. So that one is working. Canadian E&P is working. Agricultural chemicals. Those are 1, 2, 3, and then we've got coal in there and royalty trust. So I'm going to take a look once again at the international oil drillers. This is also where Marathon is. So this is a good place to look for potential setups. There is one that I like. This one actually, Cosmos Energy. It's very far extended. I wish we could buy it, but I do like this company. It's based here actually in Dallas, and it's 99 relative strength, very strong. Unfortunately, it's not at a buy point, and so I'm just trying to find ones that we can buy. I do own OVV and Hess. Let's see how Hess is. I think Hess is above the buy point. Yes, it is. It certainly is. You can see where I was buying Hess here. Basically, right before the buy point at 92.79, and then we bought it as it moved out of the buy zone. So this is pretty much extended. We can't really buy this one right now. Unfortunately, I would like to increase my position in Hess. I do have a position in MPC, that's Marathon, and that has done well. I did add to this one today, and it is still just at the, it's a little bit, it's pulled back a little bit after hours, but at 85.50, it's a little extended, but I think you could still possibly, possibly start putting a position in here. I started buying in at 81, and I'm probably going to buy some more just because it probably will pull back tomorrow, but it's looking fairly good in terms of what's going on out there. So yeah, it's a tough road to hoe. I love you. Bought Meta. All right, that I bought Meta. Okay, well, hey, LVGM killed it to LGVN. Let's look at LGVN. I'm not familiar with LVGN. LVGN. Maybe I am, but I just don't remember that symbol. Okay, come on. No, doesn't like it. LVGN, and no. We got a big no from that, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. Oh, LNG. Okay, great. You're going for the gas plays. Let's look at Cheniere, LNG. I did have this one. I sold it into strength. Maybe I regret selling it. It has pulled back. Yeah, this will show you kind of where I sold it. I sold it at 130.28. It's currently at it's currently at 139. So I sold it way too early. But I sold it and then it pulled back, and then it the date of bought it would have been on Monday when it tested the 21-day line. It pulled back. This is probably going to go higher. Yeah, this one's probably going to go higher. I probably wouldn't buy it here. Well, actually, you probably could buy it. This is at the 10-day line, so this one you might be able to buy this. It's a little extended though. I probably would not buy this one just because it's extended. It's basically right at the 10-day line currently, which is 139. So Yeah, I probably not a good idea to buy this one, just because it is, it is a little bit extended. Let's look at MRO. I think it's MRO is what is MRO? What is MRO? Marathon. And of course, I have Marathon as well, but I have MPC. That's the refiner. MPC. There's the oil company and there's the refiner. Let me look at MPC. I own MPC. Oops. MPC. And part of the reason that I'm in the MPC, of course, is because of the potential for gain due to the fact that we're going to be in tight supplies of diesel fuel. Marathon MPC is a large manufacturer of diesel fuel, which we're going to be having a shortage of here very quick. MRO, which is Marathon Oil, that's the actual oil company. So it's actually two companies. Both are quite good, of course. And unfortunately, MPC is viable because it's basically at the top of the buy zone. MRO, which is Marathon Oil, is not viable. It is extended, but it's a very strong stock, 99 relative strength, and it is only 25.11. So has a lot of ways to go. Let's see if MRO. Oops. Let's see. We've got, yeah, that's the E&P company, and the refiner is MPC. Kind of interesting that they would split them. All right, let's take a look at some of the questions. Thank you, everybody. Let's go here first. Thoughts on KR? Let's look at KR. Kroger. Boy, you can't get more defensive than Kroger. Unfortunately, it's extended. It's moved above its buy zone. Very good stock, but I just don't think you can buy it here. Unfortunately, because Kroger is it is extended. So KR is extended. And so that really makes it difficult to buy it. When they're extended like this, you take on extra risk, and we are very, we're about 10% above the buy point, which is at 50 and 15. Typically, you want to buy something as close to that buy point as you can. There is danger in buying it extended because it tends to not have so much support, and it can pull back and pull below that pivot. So, but other than that, it looks pretty good. I probably would not be a buyer of this one, just because even though they're going to have a lot of sales, inflation is really going to hurt the profits on this company, because they already have razor thin margins, and the problem is with the increased fuel costs for the trucking, and of course everything pretty much that's in Kroger comes by a truck. I think they're going to have trouble maintaining their profit margins. So they're going to be raising prices, which is going to be difficult, I'm afraid, for Kroger. So I really would not be a buyer. Kroger is extended, and I'd be a little bit careful. Amazon stock split for June. Is it risky in this kind of market? You know what? I was looking to move into it, and yeah, I think it is a little bit risky. There are three major stock splits that are going on right now, and that is, of course, Amazon, AMZN. That's a 20-for-1 split. Google, GOOGL. That's also a 20-for-1 split on both the A shares and the C shares. And then Tesla, which hasn't announced the number of shares, I suspect a 5-for-1 for Tesla, because it did split back in August of 2020. That was a 4-for-1 split for Tesla. So that would make 20-for-1 overall. So that's what I'm expecting. So I'm expecting a 5-for-1 split on Tesla. It has not been announced yet. So, but in this market, I think you got to be a little bit careful, a little bit more careful than you normally would. I think that, this is going to be successful, but I don't know if you're going to make the kind of money that we made, last year on Tesla. That when Tesla split, that's when the stock took off. So I don't necessarily think that's going to happen for Amazon. It might, but I doubt it. Here's the issue that I have with Amazon right now, and it's just the overall condition on the market. It came up, it moved past the 200-day line, but then boom, the last 2 days it's been down. So I just think you got to be careful. I mean, this is a really, this is a market that's favoring cyclical stocks like the oils and pretty much not anything else. Believe me, I'm trying to put my oar in the water for the growth stocks, but it's getting more and more difficult. Even some of the semiconductors that I thought were going to do very well, I've been stopped out of. So not an easy row when it comes to picking stocks. So I would try to stay more in some of the lower PE cyclicals in the mining and the oil business. There is one that did come onto the screen today. That's Lithium Americas, LAC, and that might be worth taking a look at. That's a big lithium miner, and they have been doing well, and it has a good chart. This is one that I am considering. That I am considering getting into. I'm not in this one yet, but there was a lot of unusual activity on this one very recently, buying calls. So this one I kind of am interested in. It's a $38 stock. After hours, it's up $38.95 in the after hour action. This one fairly good. It's a Canadian company. They are opening up lithium mines primarily in Nevada and Argentina. That's where they're looking. It has a fairly good, for a miner, it has a fairly good checklist. Typically, mining companies are higher risk, but this one has a pretty good checklist, 78%. It is lacking in a few areas, but in general, it does look fairly good. On the technicals, it's a little extended right now. So, I'd probably wait to see if there is a little bit of a pullback. You might not get it, but there's a little bit of a pullback. It's 15% above the 10-day line, which is a little bit dangerous to buy it there. I would rate probably for a pullback closer to that 10-day line. I'd try to buy this one if possible, and it may not be possible at about 33, 35. That's just what I'm thinking here. It has been stair-stepping up, but I do expect kind of a pullback a little bit, and that would probably be the place to buy it. It has reversed higher, and this one might be an alternative. LAC is the ticker on this one. So, LAC, and this is a mining play that might work. This is a mining play that might work well. So we shall see. I'm not in this one currently, again, but it does look good. The chart looks good, and it's in an area that I think is very strong, and that, of course, is mining, and of course, lithium is one of the things that seems to be doing quite well in that area. So might want to put that one on your list, LAC. All right, let's see. We have a few more questions from TikTok. Okay, HIB, HIBB. Let's see what's happening with HIB. I'm going to take a look to see how Hibbert operates. City Gear Specialty Stores. Oh, okay, not looking good, man. This HIB, I don't think this is a stock that I would be interested in. It's in a downward trend. Don't buy this one. So I would be, this is one. It's in a downward trend, and that in and of itself is enough to kill it. It's also below the 200-day line, which is a problem as well. So here's the thing about HIB, HIBB. It's in a downward trend. It's below that 200-day line. I wouldn't be a buyer on this one. I wouldn't be a buyer on this one just because it does not look good. It does not look good here. So let's see. Is Nvidia buyable? That's a very, very good question. Let's see if we can take a look at the chart on Nvidia and see if we can find a place where we could buy this. I would stop out of AMD and Alpha Omega Semiconductor. So I have not been faring as well on some of the semis. I've been trying to get back into the semis, just has not been that successful. Now, here's the thing about it. It has pulled back to the 10-day line, which is good, and it has reversed higher. It was in its downward trend. It did reverse back here basically on about March 5th, and then it's moved up since then. It's testing the 10-day line. That's a good sign, actually. Pulled back 2 days. So, you possibly could start a position here. I would be a little bit careful, but if you want to do a position, I think that your best bet is to be looking for maybe a quarter position on a quarter position on Nvidia. I think might be, if you want to start moving into it. I wouldn't go hog wild on this one because again, the condition of the market is very volatile. We want to move into it and see if it proves itself. Currently, Nvidia is extended, so you don't want to go into the full position, but it has pulled back to the 10-day line. So potentially, if you definitely could probably start a position here about a quarter position, but this is not an ideal place to buy it. But it does have a good checklist at 89, so that in and of itself is looking fairly good. All right, let's see. Let's get a few more questions before we're finished for today. Let's look at GameStop, GME, and see what's going on with GameStop, GME, and with GME, we are above the 200-day line, but we just pulled back. I think they did announce, I believe they announced a stock split on this one. Not sure what's going on with GameStop, but I don't know. I'm really leery on GameStop. I probably would not be a buyer of GameStop at this point. Just doesn't look good. We're still sort of in a downward trend on it. So I think that probably would not be where I would be looking to go. All right, let's look at this one. Amazon. Okay, that was the Amazon stock split. Good question. This will probably be the last question for the day. And that is, any thoughts on Tesco, TSCO, to see kind of, where we're going there. TSCO. And let's see, this is Tractor Supply. Boy, this is a strong stock. This is viable. Believe it or not, this actually is viable. It's in a buy zone on the weekly chart. Yeah, this is viable. It's let's see, I think it's pulled back into the buy zone. Let's check on the pattern recognition here. Okay, we're 3%. Yeah, this is totally viable. So here's the thing about Tractor Supply. This is viable right now. So yeah, this is definitely what you could do. TSCO is viable now. So you can buy this one, and this is not a bad place. This is not a bad place to enter Tractor Supply. It's in a buy zone. Really, you can buy this one up to about $338.50. Currently, it's $333.38. So this is definitely viable, and that would be not a bad buy here. Well, thank you, everybody, for taking a look today at the show. We do have a ready list ready for you. All you have to do is go to this address, http://bit.ly/DTF. That's Dallas Trading Floor 0101. And hope to see you back here tomorrow. I'm on every day at 5 o'clock with the stocks that I'm in, how they're doing, strategies such as the ETF strategy, and your questions with your stocks. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope everybody has a good day. Happy trading. And by the way, if you want to get in on that action trade alerts, they're free, by the way, super easy. Just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor. And let's see, we have one last question. Okay. 148 next 148 next week expire. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Buzz Biden. Thank me later. Yeah. I know it sucks all the way around, but hey, we just got to slog through it and get through it. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Thanks everybody, and also I just have a favor to ask everybody: if you could please hit that like button. That really helps me out a lot. Gets me out there to a lot more people. We have over 100,000 people that watch us on TikTok. We want to get to that many on YouTube. So please like us, and we will be back tomorrow to answer all your questions. Happy trading, everybody. See you tomorrow.